Can you talk about your recent work or academic experience and applicable accomplishments and strengths?
Well, recently I worked over the summer at Chick-fil-A over in Brookfield, Connecticut. And while working there, I was outdoor order taker, indoor order taker, and a meal delivery person. So the outdoor and indoor order taking was pretty simple. So we basically just took orders on an iPad or a computer and made sure that the customer's order was right before sending it through. And then at meal delivery, we would just hand the food from the window to the person in their car. So that was in the drive-through. And then before that, I worked at Sugar Hill Gas Company. It's also a mechanic shop. And my job there was just to be in the convenience section where I was the cashier. I would handle cash transactions, debit cards, credit cards. I would also do stock, keep check of stock. Before that, I worked at Tambasios for 2 years. I was a busser and a dishwasher there. It's an Italian restaurant. And yeah, that's about as recent as it gets.
What are your values and motivations?
I would say a value for me is definitely trust. And a motivation, I would say, is getting my work done the right way every time, which is a staple over at Chick-fil-A and how we like to do things.
What makes you a good person with whom to work? Why will I be a good fit for the new job? How will you contribute?
Well, I think that I'm a good person to work with because I'm very flexible. I like to listen to other people give opinions, and I can take and give constructive criticism. I feel as though I'd be a great fit for this company as this is my major, and I feel though I want to do this for the rest of my life, and doing this would help me going forward.
And tell me about a time when you had to go above and beyond the call of duty in order to get the job done.
Well, one time I was working at the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A, and a customer had come through prior, and they had come through again a second time, and so the second time I went up to them to take their order, and they were very angry. It's because they were missing food from their order before, and since they were missing food, it's understandable that they were angry. And so what I did was I talked to them, and I tried to take the tensions down a little bit, and I was able to offer them some free food within what I was able to give them as a drive-through order taker. And by the time they were up to management, the situation was mediated quite well, and tensions were quite low. It was a nice, respectful conversation between the two, and they went their separate ways.
Tell me about a time when you had too many things to do and you had to prioritize your tasks.
Well, that happened one time when I was working at Tambasios. I was assigned as a busser that night, and during the shift, a dishwasher became ill, so he had to go home. And since he was home and we had no dishwasher, I had to step in, and being the busser, I also had to help in with the dishwashing a little bit whenever the chefs needed it, and I would go back and forth. And at the end of the night, it ended smoothly. Dinner services went quite well, and there were no hiccups. So it was really cool to see that I could do those two jobs.
Give me an example of when you showed initiative and took the lead in a team setting.
Well, while I was working at Sugar Hill, at one point I was tasked with training a new employee on doing my job as the cashier. So that one day, a person came in asking for a propane fill, and I had never done that before while working there. And typically that was for the mechanics, but the shop was closed on the weekend, so instead of telling them to come back during a weekday, I instead found a manual on the task, and I was able to successfully complete it. And it helped show that I was able to do things under pressure.
Do you have any questions for us?
Um, I do have a question. It would be, what would a normal day look like for me in the office? And I was also wondering if I would be able to maybe look around the office and see where I would work.